Hello and good morning to everybody out there. Greg here, obviously. Hello, my lovely wife, Kirst, who's doing our co-host admin today, and Michelle's joined us. Hello, Michelle, how are you? Feel free to put into the chat anything you like to. Say hello, say where you're from, etc. That would be great. We'll just wait a couple minutes and let some others flow on through. So just had my group call this morning, which was fantastic. Had a lovely process of going through the lenses and a lovely session with Rose in regards to the 3 chair, which is a really, really cool process when all about focusing and having an interview, an appointment with whatever you want to create, putting it in the chair and actually developing a relationship to actually realize that you both want the same thing, which is pretty cool. Okay, Rosa, how you doing there? Just from the chat where you're from, if you want to. Michelle's joined us, which is excellent. And I'll just do a little bit of talking. We'll just give a little bit more time for some others to come through. So, yeah, so this morning we'll go through some slides and I'll show you a bit about my journey. And then we'll do a little bit of education on here for our conscious, just to make sure they're on board. Obviously, with the education video that we email out to, just make sure those of you who have gone through that, please do, because it's really important we have our conscious on board. Our conscious thought process on board is really, really powerful because we need to consciously understand this work. And then when we're working with the unconscious around the feeling, it really resonates with it. G'day, Kay, that's awesome, from Texas. Yay! Sounds familiar. Woo!
Yeah.
Hello. And excuse me, yes, it's really important we have our unconscious on board, which is all about feeling. Now, it's like anything that we do. To start with, your unconscious is going to have a bit of resistance because it doesn't like change. It likes to keep things the same. So when we're working with the unconscious, it's very, very important that we get the results. And how we do that is to focus on our desired reality, focus on what we love, to get it on board, and then we're able to see the resistance that it has around that and then remove it by using the superconscious, which is a really powerful process. It's what we're going to go through today. This preview event's all about going through the superconscious, going through the RECODE, all about rewiring your brain. It's all about this new modality that's been around for about 3 years, and it's very, very powerful. It's the fastest process on the planet to remove resistance. And why I say that is once you've done the education and you've done a little bit of this work, you know, for a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 processes, you can actually remove resistance in 5 to 10 minutes doing a process. And you can actually learn to remove it yourself without even coming to these calls or the coaching, etc. Once you've been in the work, you know, 3 to 12 months, it's really, really powerful. So it's a great modality. Once you learn it, you'll never have to learn anything else. And the beautiful thing about it, once we remove the emotions and feelings off our memories that don't serve us, it becomes wisdom. So then it does serve us. So then we have the power, our inner power, to go and create and take the action because we don't have that resistance holding us back. And a great example around that is obviously in the education video, we have that little girl, that little 6-year-old that goes up on the Monday morning in the school to present her picture to everybody that what she did in the weekend with mum and dad. And she goes up and as she's walking up to present her beautiful story, she falls over, trips over, lands on her face, and then the whole class laughs at her. Now, the class is not laughing at her as a being, as a person. They're simply laughing at her because she fell over and it was funny. But her unconscious will put up a memory that getting in front of people is bad and doesn't serve you. So from then moving forward, as she goes through the teenage years and possibly into her 20s, if she wants to be an entrepreneur or a salesperson or just get up on stage and talk, she'll find it very hard to do so because the pain from that memory as a 6-year-old will come into her field or come into her unconscious, into her active experience as she's going to put herself out in front of people again, because the unconscious relates that to the 6-year-old memory of pain. So it puts the pain up to try and stop it because it doesn't want to experience it again. So when we remove that pain off that memory through the RECODE, superconscious RECODE, which we're going to do today, it becomes wisdom. And then we're able to take the action with ease. So I used to have a lot of resistance to public speaking, but mostly about video. It was very hard for me to go on video. I could talk in front of my team, so the businesses over the years, etc., but I couldn't get in front of a camera. It was very hard to do video content. Even what I'm doing now was almost impossible because I used to get all this anxiety and all these sweats and feel uncomfortable. And that's what started me on the journey for a lot of this work to get where I am now, is I wanted to be able to remove that. So one day I could become a coach and serve others and help others and get other people to have what they want in life, which is so cool. But I couldn't do it. I had this resistance. So going on, excellent. So going on this journey, it was really, really cool because I was able to actually figure out all what it was. It took me 47 years to click onto it. It took me 3 years of study. And here I am simply realizing that everything that's in our way, one is it's not true because it's in the past, something from the past. Second, it's just emotions and feelings on memories that don't serve us. That's all. And we'll come to some education shortly, but our superconscious put it in our unconscious at some stage, just like that 6-year-old girl that had that experience. The superconscious field of information put in that feelings, emotions on that memory as a 6-year-old, and we can use the RECODE to take it straight back out, which is really, really cool. So since doing that, I was absolutely able to change my life. So I'll just share my screen and we can go through some slides just to give you a bit of a rundown of my story. And it may resonate with a few of you, which is fantastic. Obviously, today's call is all about get the most out of it, take some notes. I'm not here to sell you anything. If you want to do some more of this work at the end of it, love to work with you because it's absolutely changed my life and all my clients. But it's all about you getting the most out of it and you just stepping up and having an understanding of how this work goes because it's pretty cool. All right, so transform your life within. You're not broken. Now, you're not broken because you're not. You've simply just got resistance to creation or resistance to taking action, which is probably more the actual point. We can focus and talk and be anything we want to, but if we can't take the action to create it, then we've got a block, we've got a problem. And this is what's great about this work is it removes the problem so you can take more action with ease to have what you love. So today is all about how to remove unwanted feelings and emotions that don't serve you. So my goal is to show you by removing resistance with the superconscious, RECODE and working from the right structure, you can become a powerful superconscious creator and live a life that you love. Today's session is for you if you want to become a 6 or a 7-figure influencer, impact millions and do what you love, become a public speaker, create live content for your business, better health, more energy, stronger relationships with friends and family, or more wealth and no debt, less discomfort, frustration, more confidence, and the freedom to be and have anything that you choose, which is coming from your inner power. I appreciate you, and it's grateful to have you here. And I guarantee today I will not waste your time. I'll give you actionable steps if you choose. I'll better offer the next steps for those that want to take it. I'll stay around and answer questions at the end for as long as you will. And I'm very grateful you're here because I love this work. It's changed my life. And it's certainly, if you choose it, it can change yours as well. How to get the most out of this training: turn the phone off, be present, take loads of notes, take action, focus on your end result, which is your desired reality, which is what you love, and play full out. What we will cover today: education on how your consciousness works. We'll go over structure and why success is not personal, it's just structure. How the superconscious rapid RECODE works, how to remove resistance and beliefs that don't serve you, which is really cool. We'll do that at the end. It takes about sort of 15-20 minutes at the end for the RECODE. Because of this program, I've been able and lucky enough to create my own coaching company, build a successful global business, feature in podcasts and host live virtual events, become one of over 700 certified coaches teaching this method and living a life of freedom, doing what matters the most, which is my true purpose. And I just love this work. So here's a little bit about me, a dream come true. There's my live event at the top there. There's my beautiful wife and children, holidaying in Phuket on the left there, having a cold one, and me doing a podcast and doing meditations on the right there. So I always wanted to be a coach my whole life, but it wasn't always this way. I was a husband and father that was losing interest in the personal development business that I owned. I wanted to help people, but I struggled getting past my own feelings of not being good enough and the big one, not belonging. I felt like I wanted more in life, but I was stuck in my own skin. I was trying to make it work. I created my healing and transformation program, which I was getting great results with, but people had to talk about it, had to share their issues, and it just wasn't getting the best results. It worked really well, but we don't need to talk about what the problem is, and I certainly don't need to hear it. So in this beautiful process here, in this modality, we simply focus on what we want to create, and we don't even go to the past. We don't need to. So I studied and learned many different modalities, enrolled in many different coaching programs, seminars, and attended many personal development events. Then everything changed. I came across an advert on Facebook for a man by the name of Christopher Duncan. I attended his online event just like this one, and from that moment I knew I'd found the secret, the magic, the missing piece in manifestation and transformation, the superconscious RECODE. And then what happened next? I spent over 20,000, completed a 6-month study. I got certified to teach this one-of-a-kind revolutionary cutting-edge process based around 20 to 30 years neuroscience that gets results in minutes, not months. I started my own coaching business, which was my true purpose, something I always wanted to do. And once I'd removed the feeling emotions of not belonging, I'll simply be able to step in it and start being a coach, creating content, and most importantly, getting in front of the camera, which is pretty cool. Transform Your Life Within was created. I launched my website, gregjonesnz.com. I've got my own products and everything on there. I've got my own programs, and it's so much fun. Hosted my own live event, some of my programs, and here have been some of my results. So here is Charlie, and Charlie writes that Greg has guided me to a better place in life. It was like being born into a new life. There is much more positivity and happiness in my life. Greg helped me let go of myself and believes in the most constant anxiety. I'm grateful to have Greg in my life. Now, Charlie used to suffer from heart palpitations. He'd have them every hour, every day. He no longer has that. We're able to remove them all because they were all based around emotion, feelings on past memories as a child. So once we removed that, turned it into wisdom, his heart 100% stopped the heart palpitations. He sort of says we removed them all in one session, but it was over a few sessions because we had a lot of work on, but it was that one last RECODE session that we did that completely moved it all. So I'm so proud of him and so proud of this work that he can actually have a life like most of us do without heart palpitations and anxiety, and actually feel confident and comfortable and relaxed and at peace in his life. And he's now out there doing videos and creating some really cool things too. So it's great to see. Here's beautiful Renee. She had a beautiful session during unblocked her throat chakra. So she also had trouble with being able to get in front of the camera and talk in public, and something she loved to do. There was a time when she was younger, she stopped from going out in public. It's something she always loved to do. When we had the session, she just was full of life and just full of the beautifulness of wanting to able to public speak and talk in front of people. So being able to see that, get her to step into it, we see that resistance around it. There's a few things in there from childhood memories that she talks about, but also the throat chakra, energetically she was blocked. So once we cleared that, she went out and did a live, which is on my website, and in the marketing, you actually see, it was a couple of hours later, she actually sent us a video and she went live on her Facebook page, which was so cool. Here's some life-changing results. Here's Chris and Dean Adams. Chris, my mentor. Dean was, he regained his eyesight after 3 months of doing this work. He was legally blind, and he never once focused on the scenario of being blind, the problem. He focused on playing with his grandchildren so he could see again, and that was the power of it. Here's Patrick. He was in a car accident. He was able to run again after 9 years, and he didn't focus on walking. He focused on running, and that's really, really powerful, and he was able to do that. So it's really powerful stuff. So there's a 6 sabotaging beliefs, which I'll come back to shortly, and I just want you to have a quickly read over them. These are the 6 main ones that get in our way. Not good enough, not worthy, don't belong, which is my big one, not perfect, not capable, and insignificant. So what I'd like to do now is just share a little bit with you guys, share with you about structure. Just the board, okay. So success is not personal. It's not about who we're being. It's about who we're actually being in our taking action. And what I mean by that is if we have a current reality and a desired reality, if we start to say, for example, we want to have more out of life, say more money, more love, more relationships, doesn't matter, whatever it may be, then that's simply over here. So that would be more. If it's love, relationships, money, whatever it may be, if we don't have it yet and we're wanting it, we're wanting to go for it, then it's more. And this is really important to learn. So if this is more, then obviously this must be less because we don't have it now. So here we might be lonely. We might have scarcity. We might be sad, whatever it may be. If we're in our current reality, then we're simply going for our desired reality, which is different. So as we make that decision and we go for our desired reality, because our current identity down here, which is who we're being now, if this current identity here does not match this identity, then we're always going to struggle, because we can't have two identities. We can only choose one. And that's why it's structure. It's all about stepping into this and taking action around exactly what this is you love, rather than trying to fix or resolve anything over here. So when we're going for this and taking the action, say for example, we'll just talk about money today. When we're going for talk about money, the resistance might pop up in our field. And it might be, you're not good enough to have that money. And maybe the world is too hard. It may be that you've got a fear of success. It might be the fear of failure. As you can see, I'm not the best of artists, but hopefully you can read it. So whatever it is down here, this is all dysfunctional. Because when we're in this dysfunction, we're not creating. So when we're in this process of going for what we love, going for more money, happiness, whatever it may be, our unconscious, through this identity, will pull up resistance and try to pull you back down to here. Now, the reason being for that is this is what society teaches us. Oh, you're going for what you love. You have dysfunction. There's something wrong with you. You have to go fix yourself. And that's what I mentioned at the beginning of this call. You're not broken. Down here, you're trying to fix something, but you're not broken. When you're coming down here trying to fix yourself, it's because you believe you have a dysfunction. When you're in the right structure over here and flowing and creating it and leaving all that behind, you're simply then having it all. That's why it's so important just to step into this. But to get here, we've got to leave our current reality. Now, our current reality could mean that you're stuck. Okay? On the way here, on the journey, we could be isolating. So who here has been isolating, having a little bit of what they want and then losing it? A little bit of what we want and then losing it. Who resonates with that? Who can see that it's a structure? Or you might be just stuck. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. I've got an idea. I don't know what I want. I can do it. I take some action and it comes back again. Because all this resistance, the anxiety, the emotions and feelings that don't serve us is too much. Because this is where I was. I was simply going up here, having this resistance, creating businesses around people because I don't belong. So when you have the don't belong dysfunction, you're continuously out there creating groups of people so you can step into it to have a feeling of belonging. And that's what I was doing. But then I'd step into it and I wouldn't like it. So I'd go try and see what was wrong with myself, what the problem was. And then I'd put a manager in all these businesses, and I wouldn't always choose the best manager or make the best decisions. So that business would go well for a while, then it would start to fall apart, and I'd be off creating another one. So I'd have all these businesses going on, running around, just being a slave to the chain, more or less. I was creating some great success, but I had all this responsibility and all this pressure on myself of creation, and I was simply making poor decisions and not the right choices. So I was isolating. I was coming up here like this, having some success and then having some failure. And that's what got me on the journey, is how this all happened, is how can I just have what I want just because I want it? And this is what I'm showing you today. So when we have this resistance and we're going for what we want, our identity pulls us down here. Now, if we were to draw it down here, if we were to draw our conscious, let's see that okay. If we were to draw our conscious, which is all about thought, and then we've got our unconscious in here, which is all about feeling. How do you feel today? It's all about survival. It's all about keeping things the same. It's all about keeping you safe. That is what the unconscious is designed to do. Now, you may also call it the subconscious, that's fine. We just call it the unconscious because subconscious sounds like it's more limiting, whereas unconscious is just there. So because the unconscious is all about feeling, keeping things the same, survival, and keeping you safe, when you're in this identity with this unconscious over here, When you're going for this and it's new and it's different, the unconscious doesn't know if you're going to die. Well, it's like, well, what if you go over here because I haven't done this yet and you die? Because it doesn't like change. That's why everything we do in life, we have to do it for at least 4 to 6 weeks to create a new habit. So the identity goes, actually, you've been doing this for 6 weeks. Life is better. I'm having fun. You haven't died. So let's now keep doing it. So it will put these new ways of being into place of your creation. But as we're going for this, if the resistance is too much, not good enough, not capable, fear, guilt, pain, whatever, the identity pulls us back down here to keep us safe from here. So then we'll do a program, we'll do a course, we'll read a book, and we'll go, wow, no, I've had some shifts, I've had some wins, I feel better. So then we'll go up here and we'll start the road again to having more money or whatever it is that we choose. And then the resistance will pop up again because the identity is trying to pull us back. So read another book, do some more therapy, whatever it may be. We'll come up here and we'll go for it again. And who can see this pattern here? Who can see this pattern of going for what I want, thinking that I'm broken, I have to fix myself, having a win, and then going for it again? Because this was me. This was me, and it was a continuous bubble of dysfunction. And the big thing about when you're in this pattern, in the structure of being stuck and isolating, you're not creating what you love, you're not flowing. So it's so important that we be it before we see it, and we just step into this. We step into this, and this is what we're going to do today. You get to choose anything in here that you want to. You get to write it down and choose it, and we'll do the superconscious recode, and I'll show you how we're able to remove some of the problems that are in your way, whatever they may be, the emotions and feelings of the past memory. Now, beautiful thing about that is afterwards you'll get a few twitches and whatnot going on. Afterwards you'll feel quite relaxed and a little bit spaced out, because the emotions and feelings are actually stored energy in our body somewhere from that past memory, because it has to store it somewhere. And then all you have to do after the process is take action. So if you have a wee think about what you want to work on today, and just have a think about the power of that. Now, we want to make sure it's big, something that's got lots and lots of resistance. The more resistance we can have in the middle, the bigger the power of the RECODE will be, the more success you'll have. Now, so over here, this could be online business. It could be being the best dad I can be, the best parent I can be, the best husband, wife I can be. It doesn't really matter. It can be anything you choose over here. Now, when we're going for what we want and we're flowing, and this work does take 6 to 12 months to get it fully under control, because you've got a lot of stuff in here you've got to remove. We can't just remove it all in one session. It takes time. But you'll certainly notice today things are a lot different. But honestly, it took me in this work 6 months before I was able to remove everything and be flowing 100%. And then about 7 months after that, I hit some snags when I started doing videos again. And then I ended up making a product which is on my website, which is pre-recorded, and it's all about removing resistance to public speaking. And it works 100%. It's very, very cool. And it just shows you the power of this work, even in the recordings, because everyone that's listened to the recordings, it's in their field. So when we're working in your field with the superconscious is a field of information around here. It's who you are. It's what you look like. It's your skin color. It's your voice. It's the passed down traits and memories of your parents. Everybody sometimes notices that your parents say, oh, you're a bit like your grandfather or your mother or your father. That's because we are, because it's all passed down through our superconscious. When we're very first created, when mum and dad come together in that sparkle and that very second that we're created, we don't have an unconscious then. We don't have a conscious then. All we have is a field of information. When the sperm and the egg come together, it's just a dot. We can't even see it, it's that small. As soon as it's activated for creation, the superconscious is created, and it's created out of everything passed down from mum and dad. Now, its job, the field of information, is to get you ready for the 4 weeks old, for the spirit to come in, to go from a fetus into a small baby, get the heart grows out of the head into the body. And the science proves this because the heartbeat starts beating after 4 weeks, and that's when your spirit comes in, or whatever you want to call it. So once your spirit comes in, then we've created an unconscious, which is so cool. So then we spend the next 9 months inside mummy's tummy, and then we're born. And then we spend the next 7 years until we develop our conscious thought. So that's why we can say to a 4-year-old, you're silly, and they'll laugh. Say to an 8-year-old, they're silly, and they'll go, no, 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 you're silly, because I've created a conscious. So we have our superconscious from 0 to end. We have our unconscious from 4 weeks. And then we have our conscious from 7 to 9 years. 5 to 7 years. Now, all these 3 of these, consciousness, are all just memories. It's all they are, information and memories. It's all they are. So if we were to think about it that way, we've got 3 full-on memories. The memories we work on here with this work is we work in the unconscious. And what I do is I give the superconscious out here instructions to go into the unconscious. After you give me permission to access your superconscious, I give it a whole lot of instructions to go in there and take out the feelings, emotions that don't serve you. Now, the feelings, emotions we take out, actually the ones that don't serve you, the superconscious actually wants to do it. It's just waiting for instructions because it wants you to have a quality of life. It wants you to have all the right information to create anything you choose. So all we're doing in this process, in the superconscious recode, is undoing something that you created after birth, or in some cases, prior to birth. Some cases we can go back and you've actually, the memory was stored up, you know, when you're 6 months old inside mum's tummy and she had a car accident and freaked out, or financial collapse, or a broken partnership, or whatever. And there's all these emotions and stuff tied to it, and we can hear the screaming of the accident. We might put a memory up then. But generally, all the memories are from the age of 0 and 2 onwards. Now, if we have a traumatic experience between the age of 0 and 4 or 0 and 5, we haven't quite started growing our conscious yet, then that traumatic experience is going to go straight into our unconscious, and it's going to be hard to remember. So that's why we go back on our memories as a kid. We can't always remember from that younger age. But it doesn't matter. All you have to know is what year you are. You don't have to remember it all, because your superconscious does, because it put it there. It assisted in the situation, and it knows where it is. So we're asking the superconscious instructions to go back and take out what it put in there. Pretty cool. Who thinks this work is pretty awesome? It's certainly different. It's certainly different from everything else that's out there. Number one, because we want to get in the right structure, our desired reality. We want to focus on what we want to create. We want to step into the end feeling. Number two, of what's like, oh, I have that. I love that. It's beautiful. Number three, we want to now look at what it's like in our current reality, at what dysfunctions we have. Then 4, we want to do the superconscious recode and remove this resistance. And then number 5, take action. And you'll find taking the action is a lot easier. You'll be able to start creating your video content, creating your business, creating love, creating money, because we don't have the dysfunctions anymore going around here. We're simply in the right structure of flowing. Now, there's also the superconscious recode is probably the most fastest way to remove resistance on the planet. But we also have about 12 other processes that I'm certified in that we also do to remove family entanglements, passed down memories from grandparents that don't serve us, getting relationships, solving dysfunctional parts. Sometimes 2 parts of us, one can want to go to the gym, the other one wants to sit on the TV and watch a movie. Sometimes the parts don't get along. So there's quite a lot to it. It's not just the superconscious recode. I certainly use a lot of this in my coaching, but it's probably every 2nd or 3rd session. The rest of it's doing other processes which are just as powerful, and they tick their own box just like the recode does. So I'll just check the chat there. If anyone's got any questions, they can fire away. Just put it in the chat there. Give me a 1 if you're having a great time and you're getting a lot out of it. Okay, so what we'll do is I think we can probably choose to work on your choice, a choice that you'd like to work on today. Michelle, if you just want to put a 1 in the chat box, if you watch the education video, just want to make sure that you've got, that would be great. If not, I'll just do a little bit more education for you. The chat's just down the bottom there next to the screen so far. And yes, awesome, excellent. Rightio, well, we can choose what we'd like to work on today. And just put a 1 in the chat when you've got it worked out. We can get started. And we want this desired reality to be a true end choice. We want it to be as big as possible, something that we're just doing it because we love it. Something that's really powerful and that's completely separate from everything else that we've been doing, something new. Or it's something that you are creating, but you're having resistance and can't take the action because you're just feeling stuck anywhere in here. Remember, the bigger we make this, you know, if say, for example, you wanted to find, to go out and have the perfect relationship and go out and find the right person and go out for a date, it's simply, that's a process. What the end result is, you just want to find the best relationship, just the best relationship. If you want to find it, you know, make it say $50,000 a month, then you want to have the financial freedom or financial abundance, unlimited. We want to make it as big as possible. So we're bringing as much of this information up in the field as possible, which is really, really powerful. So actually, I'll just share my slides again. I'll just jump into that before we start. So the 6 sabotaging beliefs, we've covered that. What gets in the way? The 4 orientational choices, you might want to choose one of these. I choose a life I live. I choose a life I love. I choose health and vitality. I choose my true nature and purpose, which is really, really powerful as well, because it's our dharma. It's why we're here on the planet. It's what we choose we want to do. And the predominant creative force, which is just taking the action. So there's the 5 steps I talked about before with the RECODE. Choose the end goal, which is what you're choosing now. We'll create the structural intention, which is getting the emotional feeling around the end result and the current reality and getting the tension between the two. We're going to unplug and then do the RECODE. And then it's most importantly after the RECODE that you take aligned actions, because it's really, really important. So I just thought I'd quickly share that with you. So has everybody got their desired reality written down? Write it down, whatever it is that you choose. And then just give me a 1 in the box once you've done that, so I know that you're good to go. Excellent. If you both got ones, cool. If you're wanting to work on, you can write it in the chat if you want to. It's quite powerful too when you express it and spread it to others what it is. If you don't want to, that's not a problem either. It's entirely up to you. There's no right or wrong in this work, as long as we're focusing on that desired reality. That's the most important thing. If it's one of the 4 orientationals, you can just step into that. If it's something more personal, like a true choice, something you really truly want to choose on, then you can do that as well. So what I'd like you to do now is, once you are ready, is to have a big think about this desired reality. And the reason why we do this in a second with our closed eye is because our unconscious believes it to be true. So therefore it puts up the resistance. And also closed eye, our consciousness can't have all the information coming in. Because everything in the world is energy, when we're looking around, all this energy comes into our eyes. Our eyes actually sees it as the information of energy. So it's actually taking in 20 million points of energy a second. And that's quite powerful to think that's so much information. That's why it's so busy consciously. And that's why we have to close our eyes to shut that off. Excellent, Rosie and Katie. That's awesome. Create a life I love. Predominant creator. Awesome. Taking the action just because I love it. It's awesome. So what I'll get you to do now, everybody can just close their eyes and step into their desired reality. Step into the desired reality of what that means to you. Notice where you are. Notice what you're doing. Just notice everything about it. Notice what you love about it. Just step into that true end result of having it all. Notice who's with you. Are you outdoors? Are you indoors? Are you out in nature? Which is so powerful. Are you out in the mountains, the beach, the lakes? Are you creating content for your business? Are you having that beautiful relationship with your partner or your children? Creating financial abundance? Whatever it is for you, really step into it. And notice the beautiful feelings and emotions around it. You'll also be starting to notice some resistance, and that's fine. Just step into the beautifulness of it, create the emotions around it, having it all. The feelings and emotions, all the beautiful feelings and emotions of just having it all. And now what I want you to do is times it all by 10. Times that beautiful feeling by 10. Times it by 20. Just notice what you notice. Just choose it from your heart, filling it up with love. And that peace and joy of this huge creation, just because I love it. True end result, the desired reality. And then times it all by 50, notice it all, and then open your eyes. How was that? Felt pretty good from this end. So there we have our desired reality, just choosing it. How powerful that was just to be in it. Thanks, Katie. That's awesome. Fantastic. And just notice how beautiful was that desired reality. So that is our flowing. You just stepped into our desired reality. Now what I want you all to do is to think, what's it like now? What's it like now not having it? You can close them again soon. Yes, and not wanting to open your eyes. It's just so nice to stay in that desired reality of creation. It's just so beautiful because this is true. The desired reality is the end result, and we can have this. We've just got to choose it and take the action. And that's what's so powerful about it. So I want you to step into now, come back to your current reality. And what is it not having that? What comes up? What feelings, emotions are coming up now? And you can write them down and put them in the chat and just think about them. Just think about what's in the way. Am I good enough? Not worthy? Is there any fear-based? Just notice what you notice, what's in the way. What are we going to work and eliminate today? I want you to think about what beliefs are in the way. What worldly views, personal views, religious views, just beliefs that are in the way that's stopping you from having this desired reality. Whatever it means to you. Just notice what it's like now, what's in the way. When we can sort of break that down and create that structural tension between the current reality and the desired reality, we can now start to see this resistance. We can now start to see what's in our way. What's our dysfunction? Now, it's when we focus on this in our current reality and focus on this and try and fix ourselves as we're in the wrong structure. And that's the problem with society and the schooling system and the health system. It's just always trying to fix something. Fix the war on terror, fix this, fix that. It doesn't need to. What we need to do is focus on creating it, remove the resistance, and take action to have it. So what you can do now is give me a number between 1 and 10. 1 is your desired reality, having it all now. And 10 is you're stuck, you just can't have it. There's just too much resistance and it's hard to take action. And just throw your number of resistance in the chat so I can see that you're up with us playing the game. Number between 1 and 10. Excellent. 5, awesome. Just throw your number in the chat there once you've get an idea of where you are in the middle here. You might be a 10, and that's fine. It just means there's lots of resistance. Excellent, awesome, rightio. And this we do the numbering system here just out of a conscious understanding. It's got nothing to do with this with the RECODE. It's purely just for our conscious to see the shift moving forward. So what we can do is I'll get you to close your eyes, take a couple of breaths. If you'll need to have a bit of a drink of water firsthand, you can. And then just close your eyes. Take a couple of big breaths. And get into the RECODE position, which is making sure your hands and legs aren't crossed, that you're nice and centered. Taking some big breaths. And just really stepping into this beautiful desired reality, stepping into this beautiful true end choice. Just step into it, just loving it, my desired reality, just choosing it, whatever it is for you. Step into it, notice what you notice, go back to where you were before and just noticing it all. Where are you? What are you doing? And then just say it out loud that you give permission for Greg to access my superconscious. And just step into that, will it in your heart that I have access to your superconscious. Superconscious, are you there? Yes, cool. Superconscious, I'm going to use that metaphor today of the sports field. This process we're doing today, the RECODE, is all about we're at one end of the field and our desired reality is at the other end of the field. And we've got this beautiful grass field and we've just noticed that a whole lot of gophers have dug holes and made mounds of dirt within the field. And this superconscious RECODE is powerful where we're just simply going to fill in all these holes, make the field nice and smooth again, so we can have our desired reality, we can have whatever we choose. And then we can smooth it over with a feather and just be at the end of the field in our desired reality. Also, by doing this process, you'll have more satisfaction and less pain, and you'll find it easier to take action and have more of what you want. So superconscious, please create the perfect treatment plan, please. Bring up all the resistance to this true choice that I've chosen today. In the case of being the predominant creative force in your life, and whatever it is to the others, just choose it, step into it, and create the perfect treatment plan, please. Thank you. Superconscious, please treat all feminine and masculine beliefs, activities, and ways of being to this choice, please, and do a massive change history. Superconscious, please treat all beliefs around not good enough, not capable, not worthy, insignificant, not perfect, don't belong, treat them all in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Superconscious, please treat all family history, 7 generations on my mother's side and 7 generations on my father's side. Superconscious, treat all family history the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. Please treat all emotions from the past and present. Please treat all events from the past and present. Treat it all the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. Superconscious, please treat alignment with desire. All resistance in alignment with desire, please. Also resistance in definitions. All resistance to this desired reality, this true choice that I've chosen today. Treat it the perfect way in the perfect order and do a massive change history. Superconscious, what I want you to do is I want you to create this beautiful energy ball just above your head, which is your first chakra of connection to source. I want you to notice this beautiful ball of energy. It can be whatever size you choose, just sitting above your head. And as you're activating this ball of energy, I want you to send a beam of white energy from all the way up in the sky, from the universe, from source, from heaven, whatever you want to call it, down into this ball of energy just above my head. And this beam of energy, this white energy, is pouring down into this ball of energy above my head and filling it up with this beautiful white energy. It's the beautifulest white energy you've ever seen. And as it's filling up this ball of energy, I now want you to pour it down into the top of your head, down and filling up your whole body with this beautiful white energy. And take a couple of breaths and just really step into that beautiful feeling of pouring this white energy into your whole body. It's unlimited. This white energy is love and gratitude. And it's pouring down into your body from source, from the superconscious, heaven, universe, whatever you want to call it. And it's pouring down into your whole body. I want you to fill up your whole head, neck, shoulders, body, arms, hands, legs, feet, ankles, toes, fingers. Fill up your whole body with this white energy. That's it. Beautiful. And sitting in this beautiful white energy, I want you to focus on your desired reality that you've chosen today. And superconscious, please treat all body systems into a massive change history. Thank you. Please create the perfect treatment plan for all body systems, please. Bring up all resistance in body systems, please. Thank you. Superconscious, can you please treat lower chakras, front and back? Thank you. Stomach chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra, upper chakras, sacral chakra. Please treat all chakras front and back to this beautiful choice, please. Thank you. Treat it all in the perfect way, the perfect order, into a massive change history. Superconscious, please treat all organs, body flow, muscle groups, neck, shoulders, all joints, muscle groups, skin. Treat it all in the perfect way, the perfect order, into a massive change history. That's it. And superconscious, also please treat all part personalities. So all part personalities are on the same side, wanting the same end result, this desired reality that you've chosen today. Please treat the child pleaser, the people pleaser, the protector controller, the confused, the unwilling. Please treat it all in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. And just keep that beautiful white energy pouring into your body. This beautiful white energy is the beautifulest health and vitality. It's love and gratitude for all things, and it's unlimited. It connects us to our superconscious, which is also our intuition. That's it. And focusing on our desired reality that we've chosen today. Superconscious, can you please treat all resistance and broken agreements, please? And broken promises from the past and the current. Treat it all in the perfect way, in the perfect order, and do a massive change history. Also, please treat secondary intentions, gains, judgments. Do a massive change history. Now, superconscious, while you're sitting here in this chair, I want you now to leave your body, go up out of your body and look down at your body, sitting in the chair, wherever you are for you, filled with this beautiful white energy. And just notice how powerful it is to be connected to source. And have this beautiful energy that's there to service of love and gratitude. And looking at your desired reality that you've chosen today, I now want you to turn and look towards your timeline and go back in time. That's it. I want you to go all the way down through the years, all the way down to when you're a child. And I want you to find the very first event where you put limitations on this desired reality, this true choice we've chosen today. Go all the way back. You may not remember it, you just have to know where it is. The age will come up. Just notice what year it is. As a little one, child, young one. I want you to go all the way back to this event. The very first event where you put limitations on this creation. That's it. And looking at this very first event, I want you to create a new event, a positive event, a happier event, and I want you to put it just before the old one. Just before the old one that didn't serve you, that has pain or frustration or limitation on it. I want to create this new event just before it that's positive, it's happy, it's exciting, it's successful, it's flowing. It's a more happier, positive event. And put it into your timeline, this new event filled up with this beautiful white energy into the timeline before the old one. That's it. And then get your foot and push it down in there. So this new event is solidly in your timeline as a new event. That's it. And now looking at this new event, I want you to notice how all the other events on your timeline have now changed. Look at them all change because of this new event. I want you to slowly come up through the years. Come up through the years as a child, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. Come up through the years, late teens, 20s, 30s. Come all the way back to now. And as you're going through these years, notice how all the events have now changed because of this new, more positive one. This one that serves you. And just notice what you notice. Notice how much lighter and peaceful it feels now. And then when you're ready, I want you to come back to now. Come back into your body and look to the future and just notice how it's different. Notice how it's easy to take action on this choice that you've chosen today. Superconscious, please do a massive change history. On all things, thank you. Superconscious, can you please ground all the memories we've touched today and reconnect everything back into the matrix of the universe, including memories 1, 2, and 3, and all levels of consciousness. And now I want you to step into these new actions. Step into these new actions of what you want to do. Experience these new actions. Just notice how beautiful is experiencing these new actions. Really step into it. Superconscious, just before we finish, I want to do a quick sentence procedure with you where I want to say a sentence out loud and you're going to tag anything that's not true. I am my desired reality, please tag and treat. I can have my end desired reality, please tag and treat. It's easy for me to create my end result, my desired reality, please tag and treat, and do a massive change history. Thank you. There was some resistance around allowance there. I'm allowed to have my desired reality. Please tag and treat, do a massive change history. It's just fun to have what I choose. Step into the fun part of just having what you choose. I love it just because you love it. No other reason, just because you love it. You love taking the actions. The actions are easy for you. And taking a couple of breaths, step into the feeling of these actions, experiencing these actions. Having all these actions available for you to write down after this call. Get them all onto your lenses. Get them all ready to take action on so you can create it. You can be in the right structure of flowing. And then when you're ready, take a couple of breaths and open up your eyes. Take another big breath. Twiddle your toes. And come on back. I just love that white energy. Such a beautiful, powerful process. And just like just while you guys are coming back, in that RECODE, it's so cool because when we connect to that white energy, the white power, it's connection to source. And it's so powerful because you can try that anytime you want simply by going through that process or listen to the recording. But you can ask your intuition any question you want and it'll let the information come through. It may give you a metaphor or a picture or a number or a color or whatever it may do. And then you just got to ask yourself, what is the meaning of that message that it's given you? But that's how you connect to your intuition to receive all information, is by connecting to source and activating that muscle. Now, once you've done that for 4 or 5 days, it actually gets very, very natural and very easy. And that's a really powerful, beautiful thing. So if you would like to put your new resistance numbers in there, we had a 5 and an 8 before. Where are we now? What's our new number? Whereabouts are we heading towards 0 or 1? We've got a 2 for Rosa. Awesome. How about you, Michelle? You were an 8. If you've come back to us. So pretty much here, Rosa, when you're sitting on 5 and when you're in the middle, you can take some action, but sometimes you can't because you're right in the middle here. So now that you're in a 2, you'll find it a lot easier to take the action. So all those actions that everything came through, just make sure you step into them. Cool. Now, whatever number that you get, it doesn't really matter. There's no right or wrong. It's just simply moving. As long as you've had a shift, a movement on it, you'll have less resistance. That's awesome, Michelle. Excellent. So coming down to 6, so brilliant. So you had a shift there, which is great. So yeah, just whatever those actions that came through, make sure you take those actions, write them all down, and you can have more of what you want and less of what you don't want. Now, if you learn this work, you certainly won't need anything else, and it will completely change your life like it has mine. If you want to, I'm happy to offer some free one-on-one sessions for you ladies if you want to. Kirst, I think it's going to put that in the chat, the link, and I'll also put a link at the bottom of this recording, wherever it may be, depending on how full they are and when you're watching this recording. So once again, thank you very, very much for coming along. It's a pleasure to have you here. And if you'd like to do some more intimate and more one-on-one session where you can actually bring exactly what you want to work on, what the desired reality, the true choices are, love to see you, love you to come along, and let's remove more of this problem, or more of this resistance that's in the way, more of the stuff that's not serving us. Apart from that, love you heaps. Thank you. Have a great day. And I really appreciate you being on the call. We'll be in touch soon. Thank you.